Everyone, welcome to FOC Class 11. This video is part 7 of Java for Class 11 IT. Let us start today's video. Let us see what we are going to study today. We will be studying the topics variables, data types, and operators. Basically, these three topics are also in class 12 Java. So if you understand them clearly here, so definitely you will get help in class 12 Java also. Let us start with our first topic, variables. Now, what are variables? Variables are containers used to store the values for some input, intermediate result, or the final result of an operation. We know that whenever an operation is executed, there is a number of steps, means many steps are there in the operation. So in any step, even in the beginning while giving input, or in the intermediate, or in the final result, we may require variables. And what are variables? They are containers that are used to store the values. Means we store the values in variables. We can store different types of values using variables. Java programming language requires that all variables must first be declared before they can be used. So first of all, it is a condition in Java programming language that if you are using any variable, firstly you have to declare it and then only you can use it. If you use any variable without declaration, then an error is shown. Now let us study about some of the characteristics of variable. First is it has a name. Of course, if there is a variable, it must have a name to denote it, so that we must know that what is the name of the variable so that we can use it anywhere. It provides temporary storage. Also, as just we studied here, variables are containers used to store the values. So basically, we are using this variable to store the value and to provide the temporary storage for that value. It is capable of storing values. We have already talked about this feature that variables are capable of storing values. They are the containers which we use to store the values. Then it is capable of changing its value during program execution. As we know that whenever we are executing the program, then the value of the variable is changed, and for this purpose we use the variable. So it is capable of changing its value during program execution. Means variable can change its value because it stores various types of values, so it can change its value during program execution. Now let us study about some of the data types. Now firstly let us discuss that why do we need the data type, what is its use in our programming. When programming, we store the variables in our computer memory, but the computer has to know what kind of data we want to store in them, since it is not going to occupy the same amount of memory to store a simple number or to store a single letter or a large number, and they are not going to be interpreted the same way. So variables are used along with data types. As we discussed in the declaration of variables, that whenever we are going to declare the variable, we are also going to specify its data type. Now why do we need this data type? Basically, whenever we are storing the variables, they are going to be stored in the computer's memory, and for storing the space or for reserving the memory for this variable, the computer must know that what kind of data it is going to store. Means whichever variable is there, it will store some data. So what kind of data will it store? This thing we come to know by the data type, because it is not going to occupy the same amount of memory for all things. For example, if we are storing a simple number, a single letter, or a large number, so for all these three, the memory space is not the same. There will be different memory space for different kind of data. So that is why we have to inform the computer that what kind of data we are going to store through the variable, and they are not going to be interpreted the same way. Means whichever data type is there, different data types will be interpreted in different ways. So this is the reason why we use the data types along with variables. Data type states the way the values of that type are stored, the operation that can be done on that type, and the range for that type. So basically, data type helps us to know about the three things. First is values, means we can know that what kind of values we are going to store. Then operations, means what operations can be done on these values. Then range, means what is the range of this data type, what is its limit, upper limit, lower limit, and its range. So we come to know the three things about the data: values, operations, and range. So these are the three things that we come to know using the data type. I hope the use of data type is clear to you. Now we are moving forward to study the various types of data types. First is numeric data type. These data types are used to store integer values only, that is whole numbers only. Means whenever we want to store whole numbers, we will use the numeric data type. Here various types of numeric data types are given: byte, short, int, long. These are basically according to the size. The size of byte is 8 bits, short is 2 bytes means 16 bits, int 4 bytes, long 8 bytes. These are the size of various numeric data types, and this is the range, and these are the given example. For byte, here the example is given byte roll number. So as we know that roll number is a kind of number, whole number, 1, 2, 3, like this. So for this purpose we are using byte. Then rate, it is also a number. For this we are using short. Then this is a variable num1, means any number. We have just given this name num1 to that. So its data type is integer, and for integer we denote it by the keyword int, int. Then amount, this is also a variable, and this is its data type long. Now next is floating data types. These data types are used to store numbers having decimal points, that is they can store numbers having fractional values. So whenever we want to store the fractional values which are in fraction, means denominator numerator form, in that form if we want to store the numbers, then we can use the floating data types. These are used to store numbers which are having decimal points. There are basically two types of floating data type. This is float and double. The size of float is 32 bits and the size of double is 64 bits. We use float for single precision floating point, and we use double for double precision floating point. This is the range, and this is the example. We have given average. This is a variable average, and we have set its data type as float. And here another variable principal, we have set its data type as double. Now, character data types. These data types are used to store characters. As its name is suggesting, it will be used for character. So whenever we want to store characters, then we use the character data types. Also, what are included in the character? Basically, any type of values, number, characters, and special characters, all these values are included in character. So, we can store all these types of values using the character data types. When we want to store a single character, we use char data type, and when we want to store a group of characters, we use string data type. This difference between char and string is very important. Please remember that whenever we want to store only one single character, only one character, in that case we are going to use the char data type, and when we use to store a group of characters, means more than one character we want to store, in that case we will use the string data type. For example, to store grades A, B, C, D, E of a student, we will use char type, but to store name of a student, we will use string type. So basically in this example, we are talking about how to store the grades. Means grades are like either A, either B, or C, or D, or E. In this form, grades are given to the students. So basically, it is just a single character. And we just learned that for storing single character, we use the char data type. And when we want to store the name of a student, it will be a group of characters. So we will be using the string type. Also, there is another difference between char and string data type. It is that we store the char data type in single quotes, whereas the string data type is enclosed in double quotes. Means whenever we want to print or we want to give the variable the single character, means the char data type, then we are going to enclose it in single quotes, and whenever we want it to be string data type, means we want to store a group of characters, in that case we are going to enclose it in double quotes. This is the identification for a group of characters, and the single quotes represent a single character. Now let us discuss about operators. We perform operations on variables and constant using operators. As its name is suggesting, operator means it will be performing some operation. Operation on what? Operation on variables and constants. Means whenever we want to perform any kind of operation, whether it be arithmetic operation or any other kind of operation, we are going to perform it using the operators on the variables and constants that we use. Operators are symbols that manipulate, combine, or compare variables. So basically, what are operators? These are symbols like plus, minus, divide. All these are symbols. So they are operators. And what do they do? Basically, they manipulate, combine, or compare variables. Means they have to do operation on the value of variable. So they either manipulate, combine, or compare the variables. Now, what are the operators available in Java? These are of five types: assignment operator, arithmetic operator, relational operator, logical operator, and bitwise operator. We will also be studying all of them in class 12 also, but if you understand all of them here, then you will be facing no problem in class 12. So, let us understand them very well here only. Now, firstly, let us talk about the assignment operator. One of the most common operators is the assignment operator equal to, which is used to assign a value to a variable. Means, as its name is suggesting, assignment means it will assign some value. Value to what? Value to a variable. So, whenever we want to assign a value to a variable, we use the assignment operator, and we commonly use it to assign the value to variable. And what is its symbol? Its symbol is this equal to sign. We assign the value given on the right hand side to the variable specified on the left hand side. In this example, you can see here where we have written int sum equals 0. So basically here we are going to assign the value of 0 to this variable sum. So this is how the assignment operator works. In the next example, int prime equal 4 multiply 5. So this value 4 multiply 5 will be assigned to the variable prime. This is how the assignment operator works. Now comes arithmetic operators. These are used to perform arithmetic operations. What are arithmetic operations? These are basically addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. All these operations are included in arithmetic operations, and the operators that we use to perform all these operations are called arithmetic operators. These symbols are similar to mathematical symbols, means the symbols that we use in mathematics for the arithmetic operation of addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. The same symbols that we use in mathematics, we are going to use here also. The only symbol that is different is this percent sign. Basically, generally in mathematics, we use this percentage sign for percentage, but here in programming language we use it for another purpose. Let us discuss what is the purpose, which divides one operand by another and returns the remainder as its result. As you must have remembered, why do we use the division operator? We use it for division, means we divide one operand by another and the result is the quotient. So what about the remainder? Whenever we want the remainder as the result of division, then we use this operator and it is called as modulus sign in programming language. And here we will call it as remainder operator because it will return the remainder as the result after division. Also, we call it as modulus sign whenever we are using it for getting the remainder as the result. Rest of the operators are same as mathematics: plus for addition, minus for subtraction, this star for multiplication, and this sign for division. Now next is relational operator. A relational operator is used to test for some kind of relation between two entities. A mathematical expression created using a logical operator forms a relational expression or a condition. Means, as its name is suggesting, it will be performing some operation related to the relation between the operands. So basically here we will be provided with any two entities and their relation will be tested. Means, for example, let us talk with the help of the operators. First operator is equal to. Here we use double equal to sign. Why do we use it? Test whether two values are equal. Basically, first of all, you should keep in mind that whenever we are going to use relational operator, it will either return true or false as the result. So it will first test the condition and after the test it will evaluate and return the result either true or false. So this equal to operator is used to test whether two values are equal. Means the two entities that we have just provided, if they are equal then it will return true, and if they are not equal then it will return false. Then next operator is not equal to. It is totally opposite to the equal to operator, because in not equal to operator, when the given two values are unequal then it will return true, and when the two values are equal it will return false. So we can say that both of these operators are opposite to each other. Also, you must keep in mind that in programming language we do not use the normal not equal to sign, which we just make like equal to sign and then cut it. We don't write like that. In the programming language, we first of all put this exclamation mark and then equal to sign. This operator combined is called not equal to sign. Then is greater than, less than, greater than or equal to, less than or equal to. So all these operators are the operators which we have already studied. Let us discuss about the last one. For the example, test if the value of the left expression is less than or equal to that of the right. Means we were talking about two entities here. One will be right and one will be at left. So it will test whether the value of the left expression is less than or equal to that of right. Means if the value of left expression will be less than or equal to the value of right expression, then it will return true. And if it will be more, so in that case it will return false. So this was about relational operators. Now let us talk about logical operator. A logical operator denotes a logical operation. Logical operators and relational operators are used together to form a complex condition. So basically, their name is also suggesting they will perform the logical operation. What do we mean by logical operation? Basically, in logical operation, we are given conditions and we see that if the conditions are satisfied or not. And according to that, true or false is the result, either true or false. So first operator is logical and. This symbol which we are seeing here, this is called logical and what is its use? We can see this example: a greater than 10 and b less than 8. So basically here we have used this logical and to show that both of the conditions should be true. Means a should be more than 10 and also b should be less than 8. Both of these conditions should be satisfied, then it will return true. Then is logical or. For logical or we use this symbol as given here. Here we have taken the same example. So in logical or we have to satisfy any one condition out of the given two conditions. If any one condition is satisfied, then it returns true as the result. And if none of them is true, means none of them is satisfied, then the result is false. So for logical and, the condition is that both of the conditions should be satisfied, and for logical or, the condition is any one of the conditions should be satisfied, then it will return true. Then is logical not. As its name is suggesting that it will be something related to the thing which is false, means not. So we use it like not a, means whenever the value is not equal to a, it will return true, and when the value is equal to a, it will return false. So this is how we use the logical operators: logical and, logical or, and logical not. Now let us proceed. Now last topic of the day is bitwise operator. Bitwise operators are used to perform manipulation of individual bits of a number. Till now we were performing operations on number, whether it be any assignment operator or arithmetic operator. They perform operation on the number only. But here in bitwise operator, as its name is suggesting, bitwise means according to the bit. So we will be performing the operation, or we will be performing the manipulation of individual bits of number. They can be used with any of the integral types. They are used when performing update and query operation of binary index tree. So basically we will be using this bitwise operator anywhere where there are integral types like char, short, int, all these integral types, we can use the bitwise operator with them. And where do we use this bitwise operator? We use it when we are going to perform update and query operation of binary index tree. Means whenever we are going to perform the update and query operation of the binary index tree, then we are going to use the bitwise operator. I hope all these concepts are clear to you. That was all for today. I hope this video was helpful for you. If you have any doubt, please let us know in the comment section or on the Telegram app. We'll meet you soon in the next video. Till then, bye bye.